to our Instagram live. Today we have our co-founder, one of the amazing minds of Amani Health. She'll be sharing her story on how she survived depression and anxiety. I hope it inspires someone out there. I mean, so many people are going through a lot. So many people are struggling silently. I hope our story serves as a beacon of hope. Let us listen, learn, and be inspired. Thank you for choosing to do this, Uma.
Thank you, Jemima, for the introduction. Okay, so hello everybody. Hello, how are you all doing? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing good. This is Ayo and Jemima from Amani Health. My name is Ayo Deli Fasui. The mom of two. A mental health advocate and practitioner, and also co-founder of Amani Health. Amani Health, a brief introduction. Amani Health is a mental health organization that equips, educates, and empowers individuals. By individuals, I mean children, teenagers, adults, with the right skills and knowledge they need to navigate life confidently and thrive. In life we all go through some ups and downs, so we need to be able to equip ourselves with the right tools, right skills, right knowledge to be able to live life confidently. And that is what we do at Amani with our different programs and services and products. Today is not about that. Today is about sharing our story, right? Okay. Yes, and why one of the reasons we are doing this is because April is Stress Awareness Month, and it is an opportunity for us to, motivate someone out there, inspire someone out there to speak up and get help. If you are going through mental challenges or just having some rough patches in life, and you're like, is this going to be the end of me? It's okay to be down sometimes, but it's also okay to seek help and speak up when you need help. So that is why we are doing it. So we hope that this would inspire you to get the support and help that you need. Okay, so yes, sharing my story, surviving or navigating anxiety and depression. Okay, so let me backtrack a bit. 2020 is a, how would I define it now? It's a redefining year for most of us. 2020 was the year where the lockdown happened, and almost the whole world was on lockdown, was on standstill. Like, who would have thought that something could happen and would bring the whole world to a standstill, literally, but it happened, and so many of us were forced to stop and just rest, most people were, or most of us are used to the activity, everyday activity, just functioning, really. But 2020 was the year where you are stuck at home. You don't have anywhere to go, at least for a few months, and you just have to be by yourself. So you have to just be by yourself and rest. And I think that most of us, or some people, had issues or challenges with resting because we're not used to it. Anyway, 2020 was the year that it was also redefining for me, because I went through a very difficult time or patch in my life that would go on for another 2 years. So between 2020 and 2022, I was, on and off, on and off, on and off. So by that I mean, I was always falling sick, falling sick. Today I'll be up, tomorrow I'll be fine. The next month I'm very sick. The next month I'm okay. It went on like that for those years. So backtracking a bit again, so I think this started in 2019 or so.
Okay, that's before the COVID.
That's before COVID.
Okay.
2019 or 20, yeah, 2019. So I lost my mom in 2018, and that was a very difficult time for me. And it broke me like it's going to, just like everybody else. And I think I didn't get the needed healing, or the needed I didn't heal as I was supposed to, or I didn't go through the healing process. But I thought that I had healed. I just moved on. And I had just had a baby then. My second baby was 1 month old when she passed, and she was actually staying with me, by the way. So it was a very, very difficult period for me and my family. But we moved on. Life has to go on. So 2019, I started falling sick. You know, this month I'll be up, next month I'll be okay, and then I ran test, of course. Went to the hospital, and then the doctor would say they will run blood work, and they will tell you, "Ah, madam, you are okay." Doctor, I'm not okay. But from the test shows that there's nothing wrong with you, but I know that I wasn't okay, but the test results showed that I was okay. And then the doctor would say, interestingly, none of the and I met a whole lot of doctors between those years. None of the doctors, mentioned anything about this could be stress, or this could be maybe something that has to do with mental health. Maybe you need to just take time to, relax, rest. Nobody. We were just doing test upon test. Sometimes they will give me drugs, and then the drugs would be maybe drugs to sleep, because I was having difficulty sleeping. We'll get to the symptoms, and then I won't use it because, like, I don't want to get addicted to sleeping tablets, and then at the end of the day, I won't be able to fall asleep by myself. Anyway, so 2019, I started falling sick, on and off, on and off, and then there was no name to the illness. There was no name to the blood work. Also, wasn't showing anything, but I was very sick. And then 2020, when we were all forced to stay at home and just be, that was when I really, really, like, my body, like, it was like my body just broke down at that time. And maybe the body was like, I've had enough. Like, this is the time that I've had enough. So my body I just broke down. Health wise, I was battling with my health. So many issues, so many symptoms. Like I said, we would get to the symptoms, and you would also see that is how are these symptoms connected to mental health? Like, how are they connected to physical health? Like, but you would get to see, because I'm sharing my story. At least it happened to me, and it's something that I really don't pray that it happens to anybody. But I know that there are people, I have seen people who have gone through this, people who are going through this, and what I would say is help is available. So, okay, 2020, we were on lockdown, and then I felt seriously ill. Like, I could not do anything at that point. I could not. So that was when the symptoms got really worse. And I would like to state a few of the symptoms. I actually wrote them down. So one of the things that helped me through this journey, looking back now, was I was always journaling. So I would today, maybe one of those days, maybe if I feel okay, I'll write it in my journal, like, okay, so today I was able to eat a bit. I was so going through my when I was preparing for this Instagram live, and I went back to my journal. I was able to see how far, how far I've come, because if I hadn't written all those things down, it would be as if I'm just making it up. But I'm able to read it. I'm like, wow, you've come really far. Like, I'm proud of myself. Anyway, I was talking about 2020 and breaking down. So one of the things that I think caused it, going into therapy and having to reflect on those things, one of the things that I think caused the breaking point, or caused me to to get to that breaking point was my thinking pattern. As at that time, I was negative. Like I was going through a period at that time. I was having work stress. I had a lot of work stress going to work. I live on the mainland. I was posted to the island as at that time, and the commune was very very stressful for me. Because that was the time they were doing some work on Third Milan Bridge. So you spend like nothing less than 3 hours
on the
or
road.
4 hours going to work and coming back. So it was really really stressful. And I also have an online business. I was the only one.
Wow.
I was attending to my customers there. I was, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I have to do my duties, responsibilities, the children, and everything, and then work stress. That time also, I was writing a book, or I planned. Okay, the book has been released now. I planned to write. I was planning to release a book. So that was also the pressure of, and I had set a date when I wanted that book released. So the pressure was just, so one of the things that I would say caused me to get to that breaking point, like I said earlier, was negative thought patterns. I was always thinking about, why is this happening to me? Why should I be the one going through this kind of stress? Why should I? That was my thinking pattern. And yes, I am a Christian. I am a believing Christian, but there are times when can happen to anybody.
Because
Really.
you're
You just
human.
have to
Yeah.
be conscious and intentional about these things. But I let myself slip into that negative thought pattern, and then it started to affect my thinking, it started to affect my mindset, and unconsciously that will affect my health.
Wow.
And so we didn't even, for those that are online, please, we didn't even, we're not even interacting. Okay. Hope you are enjoying our gist. Sorry, we are just caught up in the storytelling. If you have any questions, please drop your questions. If you would like to comment, please, we would get to read your comments. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, I was talking about my negative thought pattern, or the negative, it's not my own.
Negative thought
Negative thought pattern. That was one thing that I realized later led to that, downward spiral of, the mental health, the anxiety, stress, which eventually now led to depression. But at that time, I didn't have a name for it. I was just sick. So, and then pressure, I mentioned that earlier too. Pressure, of unnecessary pressure that I put on myself. Nobody sent me message, but pressure of, there's a deadline that I need to meet. This one, my customers are online, I need to meet. And it was a lot of pressure, really. It was indeed a lot of pressure. Pressure, work stress, what other thing? Yeah, pressure, work stress. Those are the things that I think led me to that path, and then I just unconsciously, you know. Then moving on to the symptoms. Oh God, this one is very very long. It's very very long, and I was able to get all this because like I said earlier,
The journal.
yes, I was writing it down. So I was writing all of what I was feeling, how I was feeling. Everything is in my journal. So, and that's why I'm able to
Journaling
get.
is powerful.
It is really.
Write down
It is.
everything you're feeling.
It
Just
is.
write
It
it
is.
down.
It's actually one of the tools that I would eventually use while on my healing journey. So yes, journaling is very very good. Okay, so to the symptoms, I have like how many symptoms here? Okay, so I'll just take it one after the other. Panic attacks. This one, I experienced it like first hand. When they say panic attack, nothing is happening. Oh no! But one thought in your head will just your mind, your heart will just start pumping like beating like the heart wants to come out of your mouth. And yes, I remember one day I was driving. I had not really gotten that sick, as at that time. So I was dropping. I think I was going to drop one of my customers'
Good.
goods at GIG or something. I was driving and then I was at toll gate. I was almost entering the express and then this thing just started. I don't know what I thought, like, okay, maybe if I enter the express, I don't know. One thought will just come and then it will cause the whole. I just started feeling that panic. Like, I just parked. I parked. I came down from the car, and then I just called my husband. That it's like okay. COVID was on that time now. So some of the symptoms too. I actually thought I had COVID.
Oh my God.
It's
my
funny now thinking about it. But really, I actually thought I had COVID because the symptoms, some of the symptoms were, the same.
Yeah.
And why I knew that I didn't have COVID was number one, I was not anywhere around anybody who had COVID. Number two, if I had COVID, at least my family members too would have, it was contagious. So one or two people too would have contacted it. By that time, I was convinced that because there was no name now. The doctor said you are okay, and me, I was feeling all these symptoms. So in my mind, I just thought, "Hey, God, this says COVID."
Oh my God.
Oh God! So I remember that day. I just parked by the roadside, left the car, and just started pacing. I just started pacing and called my husband. That it's like I can't go alone. Oh, I'm having a panic attack. Like, my mind was like, "How are you feeling? What? Just explain how you feel." So I explained to him. I was like, "Just calm down. Just calm down. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is wrong with you. Calm down. Calm down." So he tried to calm me down. Then I think he called somebody to come take me to where I was going. I eventually went and came back. But that was just one of those experiences. I remember one day too when he went to get something and I was alone at home. I was always scared to be alone because I would think, this panic attack will just start now, or this thing, one thing will just start and I'll be alone. And what if different thoughts, like different negative thoughts? What if something happens to me before they come back? What if so that day I had gone out to get something. I think I was even at home with the children. And then this panic attack thing started again. I was like, it's just the thought pattern because I'm sure that I thought that okay, now that it's gone and I'm alone,
What if something
what if
happens?
something happens? So the thing will just trigger it will just trigger that emotion, that hormone, and then before you know it, you're in full blown panic attack. And then I experienced that, like that, and then I'll call him, please, I'm having this thing again. I feel like this thing. He's like, calm down, count on to something, maybe count on to 60, just calm down. And I'll soon be coming, I'm around. Experiences like that. So panic attack was one of them. Tummy ache. Hey God, I could not eat anything. I was as slim. I lost a lot of weight because number one, I lost appetite. I could not eat. I was taking pap just so that at least I will have something in my tummy. And the thing is, even if I had eaten, I wouldn't have, my tummy would not take it because tummy ache. I did test, they said it's tummy reflux. I googled what that meant. They said it's inflammation of the something. Tummy ache, sha. Be counting it to panic attack. Add tummy ache to it. Headache. Oh God, this one. So the headache was actually at the back of my head. It was stationed at the back of my head. So I couldn't rest my head like this. Rest it. The thing just be banging like bang, like they're using hammer
To hit your
to
head.
hit my head. And then I'm like, but there's so I think that was even okay. That was after I cut my head, which is what it was
That was
easy
easy
for
enough.
me to pour water on my.
your
I was
head.
always pouring water on my head. And at a point, I went to do CT scan. You know what stress, anxiety, depression will do to you is it will take away your joy, like it will take away your inner peace. And if you don't have inner peace, there's really nothing you can achieve. At a point, I was functioning. After a while, I was a bit okay. I would go to work. I was functioning at work. Nobody knew anything, but I would get home, and then it would start again. Or even during work, I would have to take a walk because the panic attack had started, or something has started and I didn't want anybody to
To
know.
know.
I would take a walk from work and then come back. I remember a day too at work, panic attack. I don't know what I was doing. The thing just came like very strong. I took a walk downstairs. It was not working. It was still there. I had to call a I had to call a Uber ride to take me home. Nobody knew anything. I just immediately slipped out and told the right person I was supposed to tell. But things like that. So people would see that you are functioning,
They
but
don't know what's
you are
really
not
going on.
okay. You are not okay. And at this time, it still didn't have a name. I didn't have a name for it, so I was even scared. Like I was even more scared because if you have a name for something, at least you know that this is what you are treating.
True.
But when you don't have a name for something and you keep doing different kinds of tests, and the doctors are not telling you that, madam, could it be that it could be this, or could it be that it could be? They are not saying anything. The test is showing okay, but they are not okay. Okay, so headache. I did CT scan for that headache. It would also take if you don't have enough, if you are suffering from or going through stress, chronic stress now, chronic stress, anxiety, depression, you will spend a lot of money. Because you'll be going from pillar to post, running kiti kata kata everywhere, and the doctors may not be able to tell you that maybe you should see a psychiatrist or you should see a psychologist. They will just tell you that you are okay, and you know that you are not okay. Anyway, I had to do a CT scan. I can't remember how much that cost me. And then I was sure praying that they should not see something in my brain.
Oh my God.
Serious, because and Google, please, if you are sick, please don't go to Google. Oh God.
They will have a name for everything you search for.
Oh God. Google. Another thing that used to trigger all those things was Google. Because I will go to Google and go and be checking. Okay, if you're having this kind of symptoms, what is it? And Google will always give you something that. The other day I was like, God, I don't want to all the things I've read on Google. God, this one is not my portion. So the CT scan, I was like, start praying that no, they should not see anything. They should not see anything. They checked head was fine. They did not see anything there. Eye pain, as I had to go for eye test. Are you counting the number of tests?
I'm
Okay. I had to go for eye test. And too, when you go, God, when you go for eye test, especially when you live in Nigeria, they will see something. Even if my sight was perfect, like the normal test that they run, like check, read this, I could read everything. But my eyes I had serious eye pain. They said it's not short, it's not long sightedness. It's the one in the middle.
Oh my God.
Seriously, they gave me glasses. I never went for one day. This one is blue light glasses. I don't need glasses because even I know that my eyesight is very good. But the shark still gave me glasses. They gave me name, eye pain, muscle spasm. Okay, so that one, like you would see things moving in your body. Like the thoughts would come. So when those triggers come, it can manifest in different ways. So it could be the panic attack, it could be stomach ache, it could be anything. Sometimes it's muscle spasm, and then you are feeling your muscle moving, like things moving in your body, like
you're seeing it.
You are seeing it, yes. You are seeing it's moving, like you are seeing it, and after a while, and in different parts of my body, I used to experience it. My hands, my legs, when it starts, I know that this is another trigger. What did I think now that brought this one? Joint pain, all these places. I couldn't stretch my hand, like stretch my legs. Joint pain, my bones were very weak, like weak bones. I couldn't carry. Sometimes when I carry something heavy, I couldn't carry anything heavy, say, because the thing would fall down. Joint pain. I had hot flashes. You know that when they say that for a woman, when you get to remind me, menopause, you start having that one of the symptoms is hot flashes. when those ones two started, I thought that I had started them.
Now, what is hot flashes?
Okay, so I would explain. I did not know before. I did not know before. But this one I experienced it live and direct.
Mm.
So it will start from inside of your body, like the trigger will come, and then it will start from inside of your body, and then all over your body you feel hot,
Mm.
and you start sweating. Like even if you are inside, no matter how cold that AC is, you will sweat out,
Mm.
and it will start. It will start from inside of your body, and then you will feel the hotness, and then you will sweat. No matter how cold the temperature is, you will sweat out. That's hot flashes. I didn't know before until I experienced it, and then I thought that maybe I had started
Man.
menopause. Ọmọdé ara mi.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
as young as I am, starting menopause. That was another. You know that this thing is to continue to build up. That was another concern for me.
Mm.
I had concern about my head. That was inside my head, personally. I had concern about the panic attack. I had concern about the eye pain. I had concern about,
The
and
things
then
moving in your hand.
now you are now adding hot flashes to it. Like, oh
Mm.
God. So you see that the anxiety rate was just going
Building up.
higher and higher and higher, and yet I could not. There was no solution because they didn't have a name for
For
it.
it.
So I'll just run quickly now. So what we are going to do is, I don't think we'll be able to cover all this in this Instagram live. We don't want to make it so long. So we are going to do a series on our YouTube channel. Yeah, so where I'll go through these things one by one by one and actually state like what it means, and if you are feeling any of those, maybe you need to see
A
a
therapist.
therapist or a psychiatrist, or maybe you just need to seek help. But we'll do that on our YouTube channel. We run a series so that it's more, you get to enjoy the full gist and to learn and share with everyone around you too. So this so that this is not too long. So I'll just run through the other symptoms. I won't explain. I didn't have any appetite. I could not sleep. I could not sleep. I didn't have any zeal for anything. The only thing that I did was, thankfully, I journaled all this process. But I used to love writing. I used to write very well on my, social media pages. I stopped writing. I stopped writing on my WhatsApp status. All those things. I lost zeal for anything. I was just be staring into space. I just lie down and be staring into space. I had thoughts of death. Like sometimes I would actually feel like my spirit was literally leaving my body.
Wow.
And then I was like, God, Jesus, I don't want to leave my family. I don't want to leave my family. I don't want to leave my. So it was a lot. Throat pain. Oh God. Don't worry. We'll explain in the YouTube, in the YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Throat pain was another thing. I had to go for test for that one too. Breathlessness. This was one of the reasons why I thought I had COVID. Because when those things start, you won't be able to breathe. Like you have shortness of breath, and then you are struggling to breathe. You are struggling to breathe. It affected the blood flow in my body. Sometimes, when you can't breathe very well, you may feel like blood is not flowing to your legs. Sometimes I can't feel I can't feel my legs. Sometimes my hands, and then I have to stand up, walk around. Then so if I looked down that time, we should be grateful for so many things. So so many things that we take for granted. That time, if I looked down like this, I felt like I was going to fall. Like I couldn't look down like this. I felt like I would. I used to feel like I've just fall down. As I'm looking down, I've just fall down. I lost sense of smell. Those are COVID signs. I could not smell anything. Blood flow in my body, irritability. I could not do anything. I was always, irritable. I couldn't cook. I couldn't do anything. Like I just lost zeal for everything. I lost my menstrual flow for more than 1 year.
Wow.
That is another thing that stress can do to your body. Like that was another concern for me because I felt like I was pregnant. And you cannot be pregnant for 1 year now, and the thing will not show in pregnancy test, and tummy will not be big.
1 year.
For more than 1 year. For more than 1 year. I said these things happened between 2020 and 2022. So it was towards the end of 2022 that started to, or towards beginning throughout 2022, that was when I started to get help. That was when I started to, get the support and help that I needed. And then that was when it came back.
Hmm.
So you see how much stress, how much chronic stress. Now there's an hormone that they call cortisol. It's usually called the stress hormone. That's the hormone that regulates how we respond to
Sort of,
stress.
yes.
So if that hormone is too much or too low, these are the things that it can cause. And then it goes on and graduates to anxiety and then graduates to depression and sometimes suicide.
Hmm.
Because some people who don't get help, they go further down and then they commit suicide. So that is how much how harmful
Stress
stress
can
is,
be.
chronic stress can be to the body, and that is why we are doing this to create awareness. One thing that I also realized from that experience was that some of our doctors or some of our we don't have enough awareness about mental health, and that's one of the reasons why Amani Health was birthed, because I feel that we don't have enough, because going through that ordeal, one person, at least one
Would have
person
told you that
should have
go for therapy.
one person that eventually helped me was my husband's brother, who is a doctor, who is not in Nigeria.
Oh.
But after a while, we're just managing, and you just have to tell him that, sir, this is Dr. Tobes, this is what I'm going through, and I was like, go and do this and this and this test. And if everything comes out okay, then maybe you should go and see a therapist. That was when, as in, that was the first time that it will enter my mind that, okay, could this actually be something that has to do with my mind and not physical? Because when your mind is not okay, that's why I said
Mine is very powerful.
when you don't have enough physical affect, especially that cortisol hormone, oh god, and it affects different areas of our body, nervous system, inflammation in the body, regulates inflammation, blood pressure, regulates blood sugar. My blood sugar was high, my blood pressure was always high because of this, hormone that was maybe probably too much or too low. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be a long. It's actually going to be a long um, gist or story, but we would like to not take too much of your time. We would not like to make this too long, and so we'll be doing a YouTube series. You should watch out for that. There's more to come. Hey God, my eyes have seen. Oh, but thank God for victory. Thank God. Yes, thank God for you know, for healing, for getting help, for getting support, for speaking up. Because if I hadn't, talked about it to somebody, it was even my husband that even talked about it. So at least he talked on my behalf. If he had not done anything, then I would just have
Been there.
been there.
And these are the things that
So,
even makes people go ahead to commit suicide.
of course, now, of course, because it's a downward spiral. You don't. Can you imagine all those symptoms I've mentioned now, and then you thinking you have something in your head, you thinking
It
you have
was a
something
lot.
in your tummy,
It was a
you
whole
thinking
lot.
you lost
Not
your
seeing your
menstrual
period.
flow, you
Ah.
thinking you are pregnant, and I was like, I don't want to be pregnant in this kind of condition. Like I'm not feeling okay. I don't know how I'm going. Pregnancy and hormones and everything. I was like, God, I cried like, oh God. So those things. It's a lot, yeah. I was in a lot, but thank God that thank God for for help and for support. So if you are going through anything and you don't even have a name for it yet, but you know that you are not feeling okay, you are not your usual self, you are not where you used to be, then you should speak up and get help. Amani Health is here for you. Please send a DM. We are here. We have specialists, we have professionals who are equipped to help you on your journey. And this is also one of the things why we create some of the tools that we create at Amani, because those were some of the tools that helped me on my journey, affirmation, um, getting to know yourself
So
again,
yeah, self-love
self-awareness,
practices.
we have the self-love kits. So please go to our
Instagram. Yeah.
seller account
Okay.
to get these things. Those were some of the tools that I used. In therapy, I used to love. I used to write my dreams, my goals. That time, what was dream? What was dream? What was goal? When you're not feeling fine, you're talking about dreams. So, so I was able to go back to my dreams, the dreams I had, the dreams, the goals I had written down for myself. I was able to create a vision board, which is also one of the reasons why we do that.
Better,
It's one of the
yeah.
tools that we have at Amani. It's one of our products. So, like I said, you will get to hear the full gist
On our YouTube
on our
channel.
YouTube channel. But I hope that this has encouraged
Someone
someone,
out there.
has inspired someone that you may feel like you're even on the bridge of on the brink of breaking down finally. Like I don't think I can go on anymore. Please just find somebody to share it with at least talk about the first step is to speak up. Let somebody know what we are going through, and from there you can get help. Help is available. Depression, anxiety, chronic stress, and even if you've had suicidal tendencies, there is still a way out. It doesn't have to end there.
Yeah, you don't have to even struggle alone. You don't have to. You don't have
Exactly.
to.
One of the things that helped me was also my support system. I would get to talk about that. So if not for the people that I had in my corner, I don't know how I would have handled that part of my life, alone. So we will get to talk about that on our YouTube channel. So please watch out. We'll let you know when it's out. Share your comments, share your views, share your struggles. We have anonymous link
Link.
where
can
if you
send
don't
in
want
your
to come
story.
out by yourself, you can actually share your story with us anonymously, and then we would also
Talk about
still
it, yeah.
see how we can help you. Maybe talk about it so that you get to hear what you can do to get better. So thank you very much. This has been very expository.
It is.
It has been very expository and interesting. Preparing for this, I was really very, anxious. I was like, okay, where will I start from? How will I tell this story? I've been battling with this, for a very long while. I've wanted to share my story just to encourage someone out there. And because this is stress awareness month, you need to know what chronic stress can do to your body. So please take the notes that you can take from this life and then run with it. And if you need help, if you need support, please do not hesitate to speak up. That is the first point. That is your first point to getting healed, to getting the healing that you need. So please reach out to us at Amani Health, and we'll be more than glad to be of support to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are all right. Like doctor, I'm not working.
But you knew something was wrong with you.
Anytime you go to in Nigeria, especially if you are in Nigeria, if nothing is wrong with you, they must see malaria parasite. First can actually make you lose your life.